So, welcome everyone to Solution Challenge Design Day. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Jacqueline from GDSE RMIT taking Bachelor of Software Engineering. Next slide, please. So, for agenda of today, we'll have the welcome and introduction for the first 10 minutes. Then we'll start the session with the first workshop, which is the design sprint. Then after that, we'll have a quick break. Then we'll have the second workshop, which is about the visual and product design. Then we'll have the last workshop, which is the technical architecture. And finally, we're going to have the wrap up. Next slide. So, what is a design day? Well, a design day is a way to explain the solution design process, which gives the participants a hands-on practice with iterative design, as well as a guide on how to start on a solution challenge project. Now let's start with the first workshop.
Hello everyone, I'm Cham and I'm studying mechatronics engineering and let's start the first workshop, which is design sprint. In this workshop, we'll be discussing and practicing skills around designing a solution within a series of constraints. So, most product teams have to go through this cycle. They have to build something, go through the trouble of launching it and putting it in the hands of users, learning from the users and how they're using the product, ideating on how they can improve the product, then repeat. This is incredibly time consuming and expensive process. And most of the time and money is concentrated in build and launch phases. But what if we can shorten the cycle to something like this? So today we're going to do an exercise called a design sprint, which outlines 6 steps to designing any solution. First, we aim to understand and define. Specifically, we want to understand or define the problem and the user who's faced with this problem. Next, we'll sketch and decide. For this step, we're going to be ideating on ideas using pictures. Don't worry if you're not an artist, you'll be just fine. And decide on which idea is the best as a team. Lastly, we prototype and validate. This is when we build a paper prototype and use it to test our assumptions. Oh, and by the way, this exercise is usually done with the product teams over a course of 5 days work week. But we're going to sprint through this in a few hours. So, what will this workshop actually look like? First, we'll break up into teams, and all of this will be done in that team. Part 1, we'll try to identify the user and map out their problem. Part 2, we'll sketch solutions on a piece of paper using the crazy method called Crazy 8. Part 3, we'll vote on which idea to go with. Part 4, we'll use the Marvel app, the link will be sent in the chat, to create a usable prototype out of paper mockups. And part 5, we'll test it out on each other and see what we learn. And finally, part 6, we will take a few moments to demonstrate and celebrate what we have accomplished. So, the point of this workshop is to help us actually solve a problem. And for the sake of this exercise, let's say this problem we want to solve is it's hard to buy hats and glasses virtually and ensure that they look and feel good while being worn. In the first steps of solving this problem, we'll try to identify the user and map out their problem. This will be a 10-minute activity where we'll create 2 user personas. Each team should take 2 pieces of paper and a marker, together draw a picture of your user and give them a name. Yes, this actually is important because it helps you communicate about the personas. Then, write down a few characteristics, then help define them as a user for your product. So, for part 2, we'll be doing the crazy 8s. Each member of the team should take a piece of paper and fold it up like you can see on the screen. In 8 minutes, each member should write an idea down in each rectangle, generating 8 ideas, hence the name Crazy Eights. When you're generating these ideas and writing them down, try to keep in mind the problem and the user. But be sure to draw or write down any ideas that come to your mind, completely unfiltered. This will keep the creative juices flowing. Next, we put all the ideas down on a table or send it on the chat. Then it's time to vote. We'll be using the dot voting system, and each member gets 3 votes. They can vote for whatever they want as many times as they want. The idea with most votes wins. So now that we have an idea, it's time to prototype. As a team, you should decide what the different views in the product should be. Then draw them out with a marker on paper and use the Marvel app to string them together into a usable, te- testable prototype. You have 20 minutes in this step. Step 5 will be almost done. We have a prototype and it's time to test. To do this, we split up your team in half. Then each half group should find the another half group. Of course, this half group should be from separate whole group. Each half group should take turns testing their prototypes on each other. You should have the time for each half group to test and be tested twice, meaning that the whole group has tested the prototypes 4 times. Once you're done testing, come together and discuss your learnings. Lastly, each team should take a couple of minutes to present. You can talk about your user personas, a few of your ideas, your final prototype, and what you learned from testing. Give me a second, someone is joining. And yeah, so are you ready for the groups? You can uh, you can see the schedule as a reference, and should yeah. So does anyone want to start working on a project?
Well,
Hmm.
if you're not comfortable doing it now, we will have the slides up on our website in the page that you used to join in. So you can always come back to them and work your way through the entire process by yourself.
Yep. Or we can do it now. Anything is fine as long as you're comfortable.
So, do you guys want to do it now, the activity, or do you guys want to do it on your own time? I think we could just do it now, Char.
Yeah, okay. So the problem is it's hard to buy hats and glasses virtually and ensure that they look and feel good while being worn. So we can start by mapping it out. We'll identify the user and map their problem. So it's a 10-minute activity. We need to create 2 user personas. So let's start by creating a persona. Any ideas?
We could go with the personas that we have, for example. Then
Sure. So Joe is 35 years old, uses computer daily, loves coffee, and likes to exercise. And the second persona we have mapped out is Muhammad is 20 years old, loves video games, computer is a computer programmer, and loves um, developer student club. Next, we have to do the crazy eights. So first, we have to think of the problem itself, which is buying hats or glasses virtually and ensure that they feel good or look good. So how you have how shall we discuss any ideas for this problem? Let's see.
Hi everyone, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can hear you.
Oh yeah. Are we still doing the personas or the sketch?
Yeah, we can do the persona. So, do you have any example of persona
Um,
that we can do based on the problem?
I feel like we can have two different people. Like one person that's really familiar with computer and technologies, and another person can be someone that's not familiar with technologies. So we can kind of use two type of people to test on our ideas, I think. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes,
Kim,
that is an
Yeah,
excellent.
we can have those personas. But instead of just technical or non-technical, we can have when we creating persona. It's better if we create more specific one.
Okay.
For example, like have a fake create a name for the persona and the age, then specific description
Yeah.
on the persona. Yeah.
But like all the detail of the persona, is it better to be more closer to a real person? Should be
Well, it's usually best to be close to a real person because
yeah,
when you're designing stuff, you have to actually think about your users. And
yeah,
so I'm not sure if you've watched Silicon Valley before, but so that there is this part where the actor creates this app that only techies love, but non-techies have no idea how to use it.
yeah,
So the more specific you make it, for example, saying that, okay, there's a 10-year-old who uses his phone and he's usually on social media and he loves to play basketball and stuff. And after that, you create another person who's 35 years old, uses the computer daily, is a programmer. And when you start comparing these two people, you actually realize what type of
yeah.
solutions you would build that could communicate to both of them equally.
All right. Yeah. Is there like a good way to um like collect data, like or can use like a survey or something to collect data from
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah,
real
that
person
can.
and then create persona based
Okay,
on the data we
yes.
receive? Is that a good? I
So,
think that's
yes.
maybe a good way.
So this is sort of a design solution challenge. So
Yeah,
at first you have to actually think about your design and you need to realize what you're designing and who you're designing it for. So after
yeah.
the designing phase, you're going to actually build a project. And after you're done with the project, that's when you bring in real people to prototype and collect data and their opinions on the project. Okay.
So what I think you mean is when we are creating a persona, should we get real life people's data and create the persona? I feel like that's a really good idea. So you make the survey, like which age group are you, which, and then you can create a few personas through the survey. So, like, if we get a response for a survey like 35, 35 to 25 age group, and then the second persona can be 20 to 25 age group, something like that, and then you can create the personas like that. So, yeah, currently we're going to hypothetically create two personas. So, we have an idea here. XYZ is 20 years old, lives in a hot place, and likes going out. Uh, lives in a hot place and likes going out.
Oh, likes going out
Like,
so it's an outdoor person.
yeah,
Yeah.
so probably he would like sunglasses.
Yeah, that can be a persona.
Yes.
Yeah.
So XY.
You could just have any names that you want for the persona because it's just the like a character that you create based
Yep.
on the target users.
Well, I mean, I feel like XYZ can be a cool name, right?
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
have our
can be a
first
cool name.
persona. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, we have our first persona. And then, can anyone else recommend another persona for us?
I think that's good for personas. We can move on to the next step.
Okay, sure. Is everyone okay with that? Can I get a thumbs up or a happy face?
Or do you
Alright.
guys have any questions about personas? Cool.
Nope.
All
we
right.
can move on.
Sorry?
Oh no, sorry. I said nope. We can move on.
Okay. So, next step is the crazy eights, where you create 8 ideas, no matter how crazy they are. Just let your creative thoughts into you and just let it out. So, when you talk about crazy eights, it means that we need to think about the problem statement and our client and generate ideas. So our client is 20 years old, hot place, lives in a hot place and likes going out. So we can assume that he would like a pair of glasses that would provide him shade, like shades, something like that. And then you start thinking about the problem statement, which is, as Jackie has sent in the chat, it's hard to buy hats and glasses virtually and ensure that they look and feel good while being worn. So, how can we showcase our product, which is the sunglasses or glasses and hats, to impact to the user? We need some ideas for that.
Like using AR, augmented reality.
Yeah,
filters.
that would be a good
I think it's
idea.
pretty common now. I see quite a lot of brands started to do that, which I think is good. Yeah.
Yeah, using AR to see virtually whether what style of glasses fits to you or what kind of hats. Yeah.
Yes, AR is a great idea. Yeah, AR store. We can have that as a good idea so that they can feel and see what we can see through the glasses.
I mean, that
And
will be cost effective.
And another idea was like they can even, because it's a filter, they can even take picture with that and then share them with their friends, so to ask for opinions. Yeah.
that's a great idea
Yeah.
again. So, Jackie, it doesn't matter if it's cost effective or not. It's just you have to go crazy on the ideas. And I feel like Nicholas had a great point. Having a picture filter and seeing what you look like wearing your glasses would be perfect. Any more ideas? Um,
Does it have to be a specific brand of glasses, or?
No, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking we could have something of a a few steps to decide how you could choose your glasses. For example, you can choose the shape of your face
Yep.
and maybe the shape of your nose and how do your eyes look. And once you put those in, there is so we just
It's like
show the results of what glasses might look good on you.
Hmm.
it's good. It's like a filter.
Yeah, we can also have change the color, something like that. It's like creating a character on Sims or other video games.
Yes. Yes. A realistic avatar would be really cool.
Yeah.
Realistic avatar. Maybe we can have uh, specifications like the plastic type, which is good for the lens type, stuff like that. We can have a specification for that. They can choose the um, if the color, if the glasses should be shiny or matte, stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yep. One, two, three, four, five, six. We are short of two answers for beautiful matte.
Well, we can have a feature wherein the user can directly order what they want.
Um, I have an idea. Like other than just trying the the glasses using AR, I think can also have the features to place. Also using AR, place the glasses on the table or something, and then so we can have use the camera to have closer looks of what the glasses look like the textures and color. Yeah, because if you just put the glasses, AR glasses on like a filters on the user face, it's kind of hard for them to look at the textures of the glasses and something like the color sometimes. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, good idea. And may I add to that, the person in the AR can change their settings, like nighttime, daylight, in a desert, kind of stuff like that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that can be cool. Yeah.
Yes, setting places,
I think we
changing.
have 8 ideas now.
Yes, we officially have, you can't see my paper,
Excellent, everyone.
excellent idea generation. Shall we move on to the next part?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Um, so, next part is deciding. You have to put all your ideas on a place and you have to vote. You can vote as many times as you want um, for this, the ideas. Each member gets three votes. So each member can vote for three of these ideas, and or you can just use all of your three votes into one idea, and we will see the idea that gets most votes win. So we have the AR filter, defining your AR filter realistic avatar. Wait, did I just leave? Oops. Sorry. Sorry about that. Uh, where were we?
Oh yeah, we need to vote for the feature.
Right.
The stuff.
So, can one of you do that while I? So we're going to type in everything in the chat, and you will vote for it. Yes, exactly. So we um, can PK or Jackie type everything down. Air store filter for a picture. Um, Typing, selecting shape.
So, while Charm is writing the eight
I have
items down,
sent it in the chat.
yeah, in the chat. Um, so who votes for having the filter for a picture idea?
Okay, we
So we
have
have
me.
one vote.
Yep.
Yep. And who votes for selecting shapes of face and notes for recommendation? I think that would be a good idea, so I vote for that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have two votes. Then changing color filter. No vote. All right. Realistic avatar. Having. hmm, Yeah, so it's like creating a character. So does anyone vote for realistic avatar? All right, no vote. How about the AR places, which is changing the setting? I think that would be cool because you would see
Use your
different
phone to listen and speak to the meeting.
setting.
Press star 6 to
Yep. So three votes for that. So I think it will be based on our votes. It will be the AR places, then selecting shape of face and nose for recommendations.
Uh-huh.
Then, yeah, filter for a picture.
Okay, that's great ideas. And then, since the voting has been commenced, let's move on to the next slide, shall we? Next
Yep.
step is the prototyping. So your team should decide what different views in product should be, like then draw them out with a marker on a paper. So you can use the Marvel app to string them together into a usable, testable prototype.
So these are the three features: filter for a picture, selecting shape of face and nose for recommendations, and lastly, AR places. So if
So,
you would like to create a prototype, you will need to click on the link on the chat, which Charm has sent.
yep, sign it with. You can sign for free using your.
Charm, would you mind going to the Marvel?
Yes, I will be sharing my screen for for the Marvel thing. Stop sharing. Then I'm gonna share my window.
Other than Marvel, we can also use Figma or InVision.
Yes, those are
But
very
for
good.
MIT, we use Figma to do prototype.
I think Adobe XD is also a good one.
Hmm. Does any of you have any of you used this?
No, I haven't used Marvel. I use Figma most of the time when it's prototyping.
So
Or you can also use InDesign.
okay, so we can get started, shall we? We first start with a retro board. I feel like it's easier that way. Then never mind. It started blank whiteboard. We start fresh. Then we start by adding our ideas, which was AR places. Can someone give me the AR places and what's the other one?
AR places, then filter for a picture.
Filter for a picture. And
Then selecting shape for a face and nose for recommendations.
face and
Nose for recommendations. Selecting nose shape.
right. No shape. So these are the 3 ideas we have right now. And skip. And then so we have to put them into a usable and testable prototype. So we have a lot of time for this one. Shall we put them into one whole thing? Like, what do you think? Any ideas on how to put all of
How
these?
to prototype?
Yes.
If for the prototype, we need to think about Yeah, what are you going to say, Nicholas?
Are we doing low fidelity prototype or high fidelity prototype?
Oh, so regarding that, we need to do first the low fidelity.
Okay.
So because if it's low fidelity, then we don't need to put much. Because if it's a prototype, we need to figure out how things works first. So it's better to think about the layout before this putting an effort to put further contents.
Yes.
After we've
Definitely.
figured out the layout, yeah.
So for the prototype, you can recommend how we will make the prototype. Like, what kind of prototype are we doing? Is it going to be a website? Is it going to be an app? And how are we going to make it? Stuff like that.
An app is definitely better, I think. Because it's easier to access because most people have smartphones, so and it's easier to like send pictures and to social media to friends and something like that. So
Yes.
sometimes
So
like websites a bit chunky and a bit Yeah, I don't like to use like AR stuff on website. Yeah, just my personal opinion. Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
that's
the whole team agree with that?
yeah. I also agree with that, especially if you're because if it's mobile, it's more portable as well. So
And I
you
get
can
happy
just
from everyone?
yeah. Yeah, and usually the camera of phone has higher pixel than on laptop. So yeah, I agree with mobile.
Yes. So if we are going to implement AR stuff, it is best to use an app. So in the app, um, we can have first start with recommendation, and then through the recommendation stuff, we can go for a filter, and the filter will help them choose their glasses who which one looks better, and then next step will be AR places to test it out. What do people think about that?
When designing an app, we need to first think about. Usually, we would think about what kind of pages we want. So we'll have a navigation bar, the navigation menu, which um, which includes what kind of the main features we want to include for the app.
We can
Right.
have a home page first, I think. Would it be
Yep.
easier to start with a home page first? And then we can extend further based on that.
Yep, we can start from home page, and
And then we can
uh,
have like a menu wherein when the user click that, it will have a camera. Uh, and the
uh,
camera scanning the face to recommend. Yeah, just to recommend what kind of glasses or what kind of hats fits with the face and nose feature.
right, a camera page.
And then I reckon we can have a favorite section. So if you want to save, for example, a specs or a hat, and then just want uh, yeah, to save it on your phone, then that looked good.
Yep.
What
That's
do
good.
others
So,
think?
yeah, I think once we add the user added to favorites, they can easier to compare with different classes. So yeah,
Hmm.
I
Yeah,
like that.
and then of course we'll have a profile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything else
I-
to add to this? Yeah.
Hmm. I think the profile can link to the node shapes, the thing, our second idea. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So Ria mentioned that a place where you can see some demos. What kind of demos are you thinking of?
Uh, Maybe a place where we can share the share pictures of people who have the same nose or face type as you wearing a glass. Maybe something like that. Is that what you're saying?
Or what demos are you saying? Demos on how to use the app, or um, mm, demos on the camera feature? Oh, newbies, how to use the app. Oh yeah,
Uh,
regarding the demos, we can have an onboarding. I reckon we can have onboarding screen at
Yeah,
the
I think.
start.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
In
Before the
onboarding
homepage.
screen, we can even make the user to set up their face shape and nose
Mm,
shapes to create a profile. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah.
Yes. So onboarding, setting up profile.
So we'll have first on the, for example, I'm the new user. I open the app and then I would see the login or register. And then if it's the first time that they log in, it will have an onboarding screen which will include informations on how to use the app.
yep.
That could work. Yeah.
Yes. Then after onboarding, we will go straight to homepage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Good idea. Uh, Give me a second. I'm just gonna delete this. Yes, so we are going very well with the prototyping of an app. And anything
Yeah.
else we can add to this?
Ria also said that also a place to share their results and gets different emojis or comments. Mm, well, if we have a feature where we can post um, our images, because we need to think about where we're good. We have a feature to do it in public, or we just want.
Maybe a place where
Um,
we can share it with our friends. Like,
yeah, that could work too. We can have. Oh yeah, it's like Instagram wherein people can choose whether you want the account private or public, or are you thinking something different, Ria? Or just, oh yeah, same thing. Yeah, cool. Yep.
oh, okay. So they will have a rating meter underneath the picture. So people can be like, what do you think? Is this good for me? And the hat will be like obnoxious red. And people
What
will be
is
like,
that?
no. No, it's
We
not
can just have
good.
a
Can
like
go with
button or
favorites.
reaction button like what Facebook other socials
Yeah.
media have.
Yeah, react button.
Yeah, and then comment section. Yep. That's good.
Yeah, it can go with the favorite section. So the profile can have friends section then? Find friends. Anything else?
Um I think it's time to create a layout for that one. So Charm, if you could make for example a screen type of rectangle.
Oh, okay. So after the prototyping, we go for testing. So what we do for testing is that, oh right, prototyping is in like we're gonna make it.
Yeah.
Give me a second. So oops, wrong place. Okay.
I think Figma is better than the Marvel one.
I don't know what's happening.
Would you?
Is there
I
a
think
Okay.
I can share.
Okay, it's fine now.
Is there a way to is it possible to share the file to so we can kind of
Yes, we
collaborate
can
and work?
share.
Yeah.
So I need to copy link. I'm gonna send it here.
Yep. Thank you.
everyone is free to work on it. So now we have to start on the prototyping.
Yep. We all have the information here. It's just we need to think about how we can visualize the app.
Yes.
Yep. Should we start with the onboarding page first?
I reckon we should start with
Yeah.
the login because we have a profile, so we need login for that.
All right.
We can give separate tasks for separate people. This will make the process a bit fast. So Ria, if you are fine with working, you can work on the homepage.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we can assign people on what page they want to do. So who wants to do the login and registration?
I don't mind doing. Yeah.
So Ria wants to do the login page.
All right. So
Okay.
what we can do is Nicholas can do the registration, and would you mind to do the onboarding as well?
Yep.
All right. Cool. So Ria can do login.
And
And
homepage.
is it fine if you can do the homepage, Ria? All right. Cool. Yeah,
Okay.
that's great.
Sorry.
Um,
Am I doing the onboarding page and what?
the registration form. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it should be like in the same category of the login page? So if the user have a
What we can do is
account.
Yeah, we can have separate login page and registration page.
Oh
So-
yeah, so something like login, or and then at the bottom of the page it will be like you don't have an account, and then
Sign
it
up.
goes to another page which is the
Yep,
registration.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But since Ria is doing the login,
So
Nicholas,
yeah.
you can just do the registration form.
Yep. And Jackie and I can tackle the. Jackie can do the profile page. Is that okay?
Yeah, I can do the profile page. Yeah.
I'll do the camera, I guess, which is pretty easy.
Somehow, like I can't edit the file.
Oh, you need to log in. Yeah, at first I cannot edit, so you need to sign up for it.
Yep, I can see Jackie. So where are you working on it? Okay.
You can just do it below. Yeah.
Okay, we find Ria. This is fun.
So, Nicholas, what kind of prototyping app have you used before?
I mainly use Adobe XD and also Figma.
Ooh, Figma. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Figma.
Figma is like the best. It's so
Yeah.
easy to use.
Yeah, I think Figma is the most popular one, and yeah.
I like Figma because they have plugins. Oh, they
And
have
you,
libraries here.
And it's easier to collaborate, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't need to log in for account.
Yeah.
and I like how they allow us to like link the pages together without any use of coding.
Hmm. Oh, make it
Yeah.
interactive, you mean? Like you can
Like
view.
when you click on one of the buttons, you can go to the next, the other
Yeah.
page. It's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Like login page and then register page. Yeah. Oh wait.
Register is already the sign up.
Yep. So we have home, login, sign up, and camera, and we need to put profile and favorites.
Sign up, login, and onboarding. Then home, camera, favorites, and profile.
Yeah. So let's give this a tiny time limit. Let's try our best to finish this by 3:10.
3:10. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. Quick. Oh shit, that's the camera.
I'm gonna do the nav menu.
Yep, okay.
Oh, what are we gonna call the app? So we can put it in.
Ooh, let's decide. Any name ideas, everyone? I feel like we're making a really good app. So like if Google is interested, I'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we're open for like investors.
Unfortunately, I don't know how to rotate stuff here.
Oh, same. Rotate. Oh yeah, true.
Oh, okay, I found it.
Oh.
So, while we're doing this, anyone has any ideas on what we should call the app? Can be any dumb name.
Yeah, that's what brainstorming is for. And then maybe we can combine our ideas.
Yeah. Hmm. How about
It's only for hats and glasses.
yeah? So maybe how about see your hat? Like get it? It's a play on word. Yeah, I guess that's not that bad. Feel your hat. No, because we're using AI technology. Feel your hat. Maybe we can find some. Think.
Something with eye. Like the
With-
eye.
I see your hat. Iconic. Do we have something like that? Iconic? I feel like we do.
Yeah, I
We
think
do.
so. I think, yeah, the shopping website called the Iconic.
Damn.
The shopping, lol.
It's also shopping? No, they're just copying us. We had the idea first. So, I think the camera is done.
Still doing the nav bar. Uh, there's a star. Fine, I'll use the star because I usually use the heart icon
For what?
for favorites.
Just use the star, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't allow me to use heart.
Wow. Disgrace.
And then profile. Oh, I think time's up. We
Oh
haven't even finished
no.
yet.
We haven't even finished it, but it's fine.
Mission failed. Joke.
I am proud of us though. We have tried a lot.
I cannot even copy. I mean, select multiple elements here. Like, oh, hell.
Yeah, we need to tell Google to stop marketing these weird apps for the
Yeah,
advertisement.
let's just use Figma next time.
Wait, PK, why are you not helping us?
Oh,
PK
my,
is having technical
uh,
issues.
no, to be exact, my trackpad is acting up. Like I cannot move my mouse freely.
Oh wow,
So
okay. That's
I
just
thought
sad.
if I join in, I would rather cause problems.
Oh, like the sign up, and log in.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, I
login and
love the
sign up.
sign
It's
up.
like
It's like
wow.
so
Onboarding is good
accurate.
too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The camera one is just wacky. I will help with the favorites.
I think for the favorites we could just put since we for the favorite it's just gonna be a list of favorites. So for the new users they don't have any favorites yet. We can put no favorites and then just the heading.
Nah, it's fine. I'll just add a little star and a rating bar. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think the login page should go first, right? And then there's like an options for the user to create an account below the login button. So and then
Maybe the sign up page can have a small button that says login. So if the
oh,
person
okay.
already has an account, they can go into login and or else they're just gonna sign up.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like yeah, log in first and then sign up.
Hmm.
And then login will be like, have you already registered? And then for the sign up, yeah, have a link if you already have login or not. Also, usually for the sign up, when people register, it will have terms and conditions of the app.
Yeah, but we can't do that now,
Yeah.
though. Sadly.
No
yeah,
one read no one read that.
No one reads
yeah.
that anyway.
But if you're gonna develop an app, it's good to have terms and
Yeah.
conditions or like policy.
Like for
Yeah.
the privacy. Yeah, because
Mm.
like you're using camera and stuff like AR to collect like users' face shape and stuff. So yeah. So it's good to have that.
Okay. My laptop is officially stuck. Oops. This was really fun.
Oh God, charm yours like colorful.
It's supposed to be colorful.
Who
Yo.
who created the camera page? Looks so funny.
yeah, charm.
I'm just creative, y'all.
I mean, just we could just imagine the profile, the usual profile pages.
Uh, yep.
I cannot.
Okay. There you go. I even designed the sunglasses. There you go. So Uh, Good job, everyone. It looks great. We can start moving on to the next phase if that's okay with everyone. I feel
Yep,
like we are
it's
done.
already times. We already
Yeah,
have enough time for this task.
yes. So we will be, of course, putting a picture of our efforts to the GDSC page. So good job, everyone. Now let's go for the next task. We are at the smallest and final task. So step 5. Give me a second. I'm gonna share my screen real quick. Uh, Oops. Is it presenting?
Yep.
Okay. For the next part, oops. Excuse me. Technical issues. Okay. So for the first type, we are done with the prototype. Now it's time to test it. So we split your team in half, and each group should find the other group and take turns testing the prototypes. So I don't think we can do that considering how all of us were in one team. So what you do is you send your prototype to the other team, and the other team has to rate it, how good is the usability and how it's good. And once you're done with the testing, you have to come together and discuss your learnings. And then final stage will be presenting. So you take the team and you present the idea, like basically you're going to pitch the idea, you're going to talk about your personas, your ideas, and you tell it to all the teams. So yep, that's that. And would you like to take a turn on presenting your ideas?
So who would like to present the idea? It's like presenting it in a conference and then
Yep.
selling it to the investors.
You talk about your XYZ and the personas and the crazy ideas we had. Anyone wants
Anyone
to
wants
take it?
to do that? If not, then it's alright. Or do you want, Nicholas?
Oh, Ria?
I can try.
Alright,
I'm not
sure,
I'm not
cool.
prepared.
No,
Oh,
it's
no
fine. It's
worries.
just
Let's just make it
Okay.
casual.
All right.
Yeah.
So can someone share
The
screen?
Marvel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be easier to explain.
Charm, would
using...
you mind
Yes,
sharing
I
the
will
Marvel?
start sharing the Marvel.
Yep. So this is an. Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't stress it.
Yep. So this is an apps that using AR technologies to let users to try on their glasses or hats virtually. So the user don't have to go to the physical store. And there are some features like users are able to create a profile by inputting their face shapes and nose shapes, and the algorithm will pick and recommends some glasses or hats to the users, and then yeah, and then user able to share their and the user able to turn on their camera and use the selected glasses or hats and test it uh, on their face or head virtually, and then also can take a pictures and share them with friends and yeah, and what else? Yeah, I think that's pretty
What's
much.
the benefit of the app? Why would,
Oh yeah,
for example, why would I buy it or
okay.
use it?
I mean, seems cool. Like you don't have to. Yeah, and also like it's good, especially like during isolation and something, uh, during the pandemic, and people don't have to go to the physical store uh to test on the glasses or hats, and yeah, if yeah, I can't think of any benefits to be honest. I mean,
um,
yeah, it's just
You did
cool, like
great. You did
AR.
great.
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah.
give it up for Nicholas.
yeah.
That was great. So, yes, that's exactly what we want to hear when we ask you to present it. Uh, I'm gonna stop sharing the screen, but first, let me just stop sharing. Then, okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Cool. So, that's the end of our workshop. So, we can take a small break right now before the second workshop. If
Due to time constraints, we can have 2 minute break. Will that be fine? Just to stretch or go to the toilet if you guys need. And then we'll
Uh,
start at 3:25.
Yep.
yeah, and if you feel like you don't need a break, do let us know.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm wondering what's the next session about? What's
Oh, the next session about will be the visual and product design. So
okay.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna
Yep.
It's
explain.
purely like a UI and UX thing, and then we
Yep.
will do a third one that is on technical architecture that focuses on more of the technical stuff.
Yeah, what
Yep.
Google products, or since this is a Google challenge and Google challenge, you need to use a Google product to create your project. So yeah, PK will explain what kinds of Google product will be suitable.
Yep. Okay. Yep. I'm happy to have a break. Yeah.
okay, um, have a nice break.
Yeah, let's do 2 minutes and we'll be back with Jackie, okay?
Yep.
Yep.
By the way, Ria, if you don't mind me asking, are you in India or Australia right now? Oh, okay. So the thing that we actually have vouchers for you. So, I mean, the participants of this event.
Yeah,
So,
you guys will have vouchers at the end. We're gonna
Um,
give.
yeah, we're gonna give Uber Eats vouchers and a JB Hi-Fi voucher, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is that it doesn't work in India. It only works in Melbourne. So, but the vouchers will be valid for 3 months, I think, wasn't it?
yeah,
Mm,
so I was just asking because we'll have to like if you're connected on Discord, one of us will reach out to you and try to help you out to get the vouchers just in case.
Yep. We would like your email addresses so that we can send you the Uber Eats voucher and the JB Hi-Fi voucher.
And Nicholas, you're in Melbourne, right? Just to be sure.
I think Nicholas went.
Yeah.
Ria, I'm just asking, is the R capital in your Gmail? Is the R capital or is it just simple letters for everything?
Is the email? Oh, it's all lowercase. Oh, cool.
All right,
Yeah.
cool, cool, cool. Mm-hmm.
Is everyone here?
May I get a smiley face or a thumbs up if everyone's here, or a hands up? Okay, Ria's here. Let's wait a few more minutes for Nicholas. Jackie, you can start sharing your screen now.
Oh, all right. Yep.
Cool.
Oh, everyone's here? All right, cool. Um, so now the break is over, and this time we're gonna have the second workshop, which is about the visual and product design, and also getting practice in the skills required for both principles. So, let's start by finishing this sentence. Everyone take out a pencil and paper, or just any notes that you have, or yeah, just on your mind, and take a moment to do on what is visual design. So, does anyone has any ideas on what visual design is? Any volunteers? If none, then it's
It's
all
about-
good. Just what is?
Oh, sorry. I think visual design is about communication. Like, yeah, you're able to communicate your ideas. Yeah.
Perfect. That's
Based
one
on
part.
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one part of it. In fact, visual design is serves three purposes. So to establish credibility and communicate a brand or personality, and also enhance usability. So now let's talk about a few concepts in visual design. So first we have information hierarchy. Information hierarchy is used to guide the user's attention. So let's have an example. For this one, it's really a bad example since, as you can see here, it's just a block of text with no clear guidance on how to pause or dissect the text. It just feels overwhelming and intimidating, and many users won't even begin to read it, right? Um, so yeah, that's the first example, which no, it's really bad. And this one, it's still kind of better, but it's still bad. But so in here we've broken down the block of text that we have earlier, but there's no true hierarchy on this one. Um, as you can see, we don't even know which one is the most important to look at. Is it in the middle? It's just there's no direction on where to begin reading it, right? And for this example, it's getting better. It's almost there, but now we maintain. Yeah, so now we have the new lines from the last iteration, and we also have boldness, which highlights what's the heading. Have different font size as well, which can help us distinguish which one is most important to look at. Yeah, it's just more divided in a way that it's easier to digest for the readers, and also allow us to clearly distinguish between what's important and least important. And for this example, it's good. This one is good since they use different font weights to distinguish which text is important. Well, we know what we want in here, and we added color, refined our use of font weights, font size, and added the grid system. And it clearly states the header, subtext, secondary and tertiary headers, and paragraph text. So we exactly know how to sparse this or identify which section is which. And yeah, so this really like a good information hierarchy. Aside from information hierarchy, we have the color. So color is used to communicate a brand or personality. So if you can look at this color and think of about this, what does the color palette represent? Like, which company does it represent? Do you have any guess? Well, let's start on the top left corner. Does any one of you have any guess on which company it represents?
Discord.
The
No?
which one?
Which one's Discord?
The
The
left
top-
is this
The
one.
top left.
Top
The
left.
top left.
And then the right one.
Which
is
company?
25.
Which tech company is it?
Oh, tech company.
Or which app does it represent? I'll give a hint. It's a social
Discord,
media.
right? It's not Discord. I don't know. Looks.
No, it's not Discord, but
Oh,
it's a social media. It's a
social
famous
media.
one. Yeah.
Tweet.
Yeah, it's Facebook. Correct.
Oh, really?
Ria.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Facebook. Then how about the top right? The green, black. It's not a social media. I would say
Spotify.
Spotify. Then the bottom left.
Twitter.
Yep. Then the bottom right.
Google.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
obvious
correct.
one.
Yeah. And we have the virtual backgrounds. So cool. So yep, we all got it correctly. Then after the color, we also have the grid systems. So grid systems help us to break up space into regular units. Yep, so this provides clarity, efficiency, and economy and continuity. So it helps us organize information on a page. So yeah, let's take the example from before. From this time, we have a clear grid, and as you can see, it organizes our information and guides our user eyes across the information. So it allows us to parse the data effectively, and we know which section to look at easier. So yeah, that's all for the visual design. And now let's apply our skills and do an activity. So as you can see, we'll be designing a resume, and we'll have all the data for the resume from this link. I'm gonna send the link on the chat. One sec. Oh,
Jackie, I will send it.
all right. Yeah, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
So, yeah, your task is to um, apply the information hierarchy, color, and using grid systems on to display this resume information in a way that establishes credibility and communicate brand or personality and enhances usability.
The information is sent on the group chat.
So if you can go to the Google Doc sent by Charm on the chat, I'm gonna share the screen as well.
Yep.
So does anyone wants to volunteer on how we can improve the information hierarchy, color? Oh yeah, Charm, I cannot access the document. Can you?
Give me a second. Looks like we will have to make a new document because this is a Google document.
Okay, let me help out. Okay, you continue.
Yeah, but how can you help us? Yeah.
Yeah, just give me a second. I'll just make a new one.
Google Doc.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Yep. Give us a time.
I can just.
Yeah.
I can just make a copy.
Yeah, it's just gonna take a second.
Yeah.
I'm nearly done with it. I'm using the RMIT internet and it's so slow.
Oh yeah. I have the link now, so I'll send it on the chat.
Okay.
Here. Tell me if you cannot or have issues on accessing it.
Yep. Can anyone? Yes, we can edit now. Yep.
Oh, cool. So, does anyone have volunteer? First, we'll do the information hierarchy. So, how can we? What font do we need? Which section do we need to increase its font, or
The title.
how can we apply information hierarchy on this resume? Does anyone wants to volunteer?
First, I think we need to like separate them into section.
So how would you separate it?
Like qualification, skill. This is program language, and then experience. Yeah.
Jackie, is your screen share working? Because it seems to be stuck.
Oh yeah. I
No,
was
you're in
sharing the.
resume text.
Oh,
And we have a newcomer today.
oh, hi, Kan.
So we
Yep.
are.
So for the newcomers, we're having an activity. We're in
You just
just go to the document first that I sent on the chat, and then it is a resume wherein you need to edit based on the visual design. So I'm going to talk about a bit of visual design. So first is you need to think about the information hierarchy, and regarding the information hierarchy, you need to consider about the font sizes. On, for example, if the text is important, you need usually you would bold the text, so readers can easily like see that text. And for the headings, usually the font size are bigger. Then if it's paragraph, then or like the body of the text, then usually font size are smaller. So that's the information hierarchy. It's based on the importance of the text. Then next will be the color. So color is about the branding. Yeah, so for example, Google, we have the green, red, blue, yellow, and white color, scheme color. Um, then the last one is the grid systems, which divide the text into sections. So it just makes the readers to like digest the text itself. Yeah. So now is looking good, the resume. What color do you reckon having on the resume? Do you guys prefer having colorful resume or just leave it black and white?
So we had a workshop about resume building last time. What the resume building person recommended was using dark, strong colors, because sometimes the people in the companies, they print the resume, and most of the time they don't print it color, so it will be printed black and white. So if you have a light color like yellow, it will be printed as white. So when you choose a color, you have to choose a good color. So yeah, which what kind of colors would you recommend?
Yeah, so does anyone have any suggestions on what color? Or should we leave it black and white? I think leaving it black and white
I,
would be fine.
yeah, I think
Because
keep it simple.
simple. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes it depends on what type of jobs you're applying for. If you're applying for like a creative jobs, I would make my resume a bit more colorful. And if I'm applying for more like professional, I don't know, yeah, more, yeah. So in this case, I feel like keep it simple might be a better options.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you. If it's like creative, in terms of creative job, preferably we would have a colorful resume. But then if it's like other professionals, then because if it's other professionals, they would look into the content more rather than the presentation itself. I
yeah.
reckon. Yeah. So yeah, the resume is looking good. This is what exactly I'm thinking of. Mm. So that's the end of the first activity. Let's move on to the next part. I'm gonna stop sharing this and so yeah, the next part will be the product design. Mm, so the product is design is an act of designing a product. But let's take a step back and answer this question. What do you think is a product? Any volunteers again? Um, or yeah, what do you think is a product? Just have a quick guess, or um, just say how would you define it in your own words.
Um, a product can be an item or a service,
Hmm.
and then I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
And then like it's usually used to serve a customer or user needs or wants.
Yeah.
Is that yeah?
Yep. Yep. So, in a general way of definition, a product is a solution to a problem. It's like solving your client's needs. Yeah, similar to that one.
Yeah, Ria also has said anything
Oh,
you offer to users, which is exactly what we're talking about.
yep. Yeah, that's yeah. So that's this one. A product is a solution to a user's problem, basically. Now let's pretend we're a new product team, maybe at a startup. So, what are some problems we might face, like when we create a startup? Well, what are the stuff that we need to think about if we're going to establish a startup? I'll give
Target
one.
market,
Yeah, target market. That's a good one. Um, uh,
Budget?
objective,
budget. Yep.
value, objective, something like that.
Uh, yep. Understanding the customers as well. Mm, what features you want to add to your product? Mm, I would say features you want to add to your product that is uh, later on, like the latter steps when building, establishing the startup. But for now, let's think about what are the fundamental um, things that we need. So we have budget, um, the value proposition, then understanding what customers, which is the target market. Um, what else? So I would say the time as well, because it takes a lot of time to establish a startup. Yeah, location can be no can also be considered
And
if it's like
legal issue.
yeah legally yeah that can work. So the for most new product teams, these are the issues they'll face: a lack of time, funding, or budget, and understanding of the customers. So, like any other team, our job is to mitigate the problems we'll face. So, to do so, it's important to build efficiently, measure success, and learn from measurements, and repeat. So yeah, we call this the build, measure, learn cycle. The idea is that you build a product, measure success, and learn from the success and failures, and then repeat it. And the key that is that the faster you move, the better the product you will get. So unfortunately, most of the time usually goes into building. So how could we build incredibly fast? Well, according to Eric Ries, author of really famous book called The Lean Startup, says that the product team should aim to build this. Like the version of a new product or service which allow the team to collect the maximum amount of validated learning about customers with least effort. So yeah, we'll need to think about how we can make it efficient. And he calls this minimum viable like visible or practical, about feasibility and practicality of the product, and the product. So it's a product which takes at least the least amount of time to develop but gives you the most amount of opportunity to learn. So in practice, the MVP uh, can mean a lot of different things. We're going through 5 different versions of MVP to get the creative juices flowing and show you how little time you can put in and still learn a ton. So we'll discuss wireframing, landing page, demo video, Wizard of Oz, and working prototype. So for our purposes, as you can see, a wireframe is a drawing. This drawing should have enough information for you to ask minimal questions. So let's say you're building an email client and you're deciding where to put the new mail button. So you can draw a few versions and run simple tests on where you show people the different wireframes and ask them to send a new email taking note of any friction. So wireframing would focus mainly on the layout, on where you would put the features. And yeah, in terms of wireframing, it's similar to proto. So it will be a low fidelity prototype where you would also do user testing. So these wireframes don't have to be very refined. It's better if it's sketch. So the rougher the sketch, the better. Because many times, if you users see a perfectly done wireframes, they'll not give you an honest feedback, and will be like out of fear for hurting your feelings to change um, the wireframes. So if it's like a rough wireframe and it's just sketches, and they'll think you haven't put a lot of time into it yet, then they'll far be more honest to give an honest feedback. And an honest feedback is what we want, right? We want to clearly understand what our user wants. So next we'll have the landing page. So many times you might not have an idea, but you might not be sure how people actually might use it. In this case, you can spin up a simple landing page. So on the landing page, you can describe your fake product or service and collect signups. So you can at least thank them for their interest. So this is cheap and easy way to collect interest or lack thereof without actually building the entire solution yet. Next, we'll have the demo videos. So with today's applications, we have computer editing softwares where people can make transformers to look real. If that's the case, then why don't we use those software to make our solution look realistic? That way we can create real demo video of a solution that doesn't exist yet. And then we can go around and show it to people to gain insights about our ideas without having it to it build or without having it build the whole thing yet. Because building the whole thing takes a lot of time. So if you want to publish your idea in quicker way, then yeah, demo video would be a good idea. And lastly, let's discuss The Wizard of Oz. So, have any one of you seen The Wizard of Oz? Yep. So, if you've seen The Wizard of Oz, we know that the wizard isn't truly magic. Instead, he's just a man standing behind a curtain making people think that he's magical. For this MVP, we'll be doing the same thing. But imagine we want to build an e-commerce website. We can build the front end pretty easily, but the back end technology and business fulfillment process required really a ton of time and money to set it up. So why don't we just build the front end and that sends an email to you every time an order is mailed? Then when you get that email, you can just drive to the store and buy whatever the user order and ship it to them. So if you would think about it, the user might think that it's all done automatically or automagically. Well, joking aside, in reality, you're just running the show by doing the back end side. So yeah, like the Wizard of Oz. So now let's do another activity. For this activity, we'll be designing a calendar application. Quickly define the specific user, the problem, and the area of improvement. Then next, spend a moment designing a solution and creating an MVP, either wireframing or the landing page or demo video. Yeah, either of them. And then I recommend using wireframing technique for this exercise because if we're gonna create, for example, demo video, it will take more time for that. Once the wireframes are built, we can test them and take note on what your test subjects are telling you about your solution. Then after that, with get back with us as well, and then we can all and yeah, we can all see how to improve it further. And yeah, that's the exercise for this workshop. So if we're gonna design a calendar application, what kind of user do you think? What kind of target user do you think we need? Students, yep, that can be. Students or what else? Calendar. Professionals can also be like our tutors, professors. Let's make it since who attend a lot of meetings. Yeah. No, professionals can be that one. But if it's a target user, we need to. It's better if we make it specific to limit the scope as well. So I think we can have a vote. Do you guys want to create like educational calendar for educational use? Or have any of you have any other ideas? If not, then yeah, we can stick to educational use then. So we're creating a calendar for educational use, and specific user can be students, tutors, lecturers. But let's think about the problem. The problem that why students need the calendar or why tutors need the calendar. Maybe time to improve their time management skills. That can be. And then yeah, so if it's time management skills, then we can have like a planner, um, uh, wherein students can add like their own classes, and with that, students would determine their timetables on and yeah, manage their time on when are they available, when um they they can see whether if there are classes or meetings clashing. So yeah, that's how you design an app. You need to think of first the target users first, and then the problem that you want to solve, and then the features that can solve your problem. And that's pretty much it for this workshop. Does any one of you have any questions or maybe any suggestions as well to add on to this activity? If none, then we can move on to the third workshop. So yeah, that's the end of the second workshop.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Yep. Is it clear?
Yep.
Okay, let's get started. Hello people, I'm PK, the tech expert here at GDSR MIT, and I'm studying Bachelor's of IT. In this workshop, we'll be discussing and practicing skills around basic technical architecture. So, sorry, my trackpad is actually making some issues. Okay. So when people think of apps, they usually think about mobile devices, laptops, desktop computers, tablets, or even smartwatches. We think about mobile applications written in Kotlin, Java, or Swift, or maybe a cross-platform framework like Flutter. We think about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, but this is only part of what makes our app work. In reality, apps have much more than that. In addition to the front end or client, there's an entire backend to most applications. Most backends even have multiple parts which can mostly be bucketed into running code, data storage, and other services. Let's walk through an example. Let's say we want to build a photo sharing application. We can start by defining the client. In this case, we want it to be a web application. Then we need somewhere to host our backend and run our code. For that, we choose Cloud Functions. Cloud Functions is a tool which allows developers write. It allows them to write a function in Python, Node, or Go and trigger it on HTTP requests. It also handles all of the scaling for us. So it's really good for beginners looking to develop web applications. We also need somewhere to store our user information like usernames, etc. For that, we can use Firebase Firestore. This is a NoSQL database, which is also fully managed, meaning that it handles all the scaling for you. Lastly, we need to store our photos somewhere. For that, we'll use Firebase storage. This is Firebase's file storage system, allowing us to store our photos on the cloud. That's it. We have our photo app. Let's say we wanted to add photo searching functionality like in Google Photos. To do so, we can use the Cloud Vision API. The Cloud Vision API uses advanced machine learning, and it will allow us to automatically create tags for all the images, letting us search through all our photos with key terms. What if we have a bit more experience programming and want to use a popular web framework like Django, Express, Ruby, on Rails, etc.? In that case, we can use App Engine Standard. This is Google Cloud's platform as a service tool, which allows you to upload your code and it handles everything else for you. Unfortunately, App Engine Standard doesn't support WebSockets. No worries, because Google Cloud also has App Engine Flexible. App Engine Flexible is different from App Engine Standard in a few ways. It supports WebSockets, but it is also much better at handling relatively sustained levels of traffic. App Engine Standard, though, is much better at handling spikes of traffic. App Engine Standard also takes under 60 seconds to deploy your code, while the flexible environment takes 5 to 10 minutes. Lastly, we might want to add different types of clients that each interact with the backend, giving our users access to their photos on all their devices. Like anything else, this is much easier said than done. So, how can we make these decisions in practice? We've broken it down into three pretty simple steps. First, we make a list of all our considerations or constraints. Then we do research and choose the tools that make sense with our considerations. Lastly, we decide how these tools will communicate with each other. First, we make a list of considerations. Make a list of everything that might impact how this product is built. That means everything from how the user will use it to what your technical experience is. Here is a list of some considerations that might be useful. You can take a look at them, and they will be in the slides provided later on. Moving on. Next, you should do research and make a list of all the tools you may use. At this link, you'll find a popular tool called Google Cloud Developer Cheat Sheet, which describes every Google Cloud tool in 4 words or less. We have created an extension of this cheat sheet just so you can outline all the Google Developer tools which are free to use. The last step is actually design the tech. For this step, take out a piece of paper and a marker and divide it like so, given on the screen. In each part of the grid, you'll write what tools you'll use and what purpose they'll serve. So this is the genuine template that you can use for designing and for thinking about the architecture. I do realize that most of us here our participants here are not that technical with Google Cloud. So let's say you have an idea, you might have already have an idea for the solutions challenge. If you do, go on to the link on Google Cloud Services, take a look around, and hopefully this will help you out. And then now that you're ready to choose an idea and build your own softwares and solutions, um, thank you all for your time. I hope you learned something useful. I'll be handing it back to Charm.
Yep. Thanks, PK. Let me just. Okay, I will share my screen. Give me a second, please. Technical issues. Mhm. Share my screen. Tab. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
Then, so we would like to wish everyone best of luck. Now you are ready to choose an idea and build your own softwares. So
For the solution challenge, yeah.
yes, so thank you all for coming, and I hope you learned something useful. So what's next in RMIT? Design Day or Hackathon? So we have already done the Design Day now. So next up, we will have a lot of workshops for Google products, as well as some general workshops.
Technical workshops, yeah.
Yes, technical and non-technical workshops that will help you get through this solution challenge. And next up is our social media accounts. Please do follow us on our website, Discord, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter. On YouTube, we will be uploading this workshop, as well as you can find many more workshops and events we have done in the past. And if you want to get instant updates or interact with us, please join our Discord. And yes, thank you all for coming, and please send your email in the chat so that